Squiggler mates. Time for some baiting in action. New bin set up. Let's start with some water. Get a nice little bit of water going here. We have a translucent bin. So what I did was I made little privacy covers. Put some cardboard walls up just to keep it nice and dark for the little squiggly guys. Now that we've got a little water in there, let's just start out with a little bit of cardboard shreds. We got some aloe vera. We've got some garden, some basil, and whatever else. We're gonna let this absorb that moisture and go grab some more. With the baiting in method, we are using a downward migration into material while we are using light harvesting and also some plucking. Okay, now we have some items that are really interesting, and I hope I don't regret doing this, but as I say, because I don't have the moderation gene, there's just no stopping. I'm gonna do it. So this is for my pleasure. This is garlic and shallot. Either pieces that I couldn't use or just the skins. So we've got some garlic, shallot, and onion skins and some pieces of garlic. And we have some gelatin capsules here that are gelatinous protein. So we're gonna have these in here too. They'll probably melt right away. Whoa. Okay. And I just thought this would be kind of an interesting texture in the bin, and because these have been dried, I mean, some of the garlic might still, some of these might still break down some, but I kind of want to see, and they're kind of pretty, so I'm gonna go for it. I did it. All right, and then I have some other materials here that are kind of questionable. They kind of, I don't know that I really like the texture, but let's do it. We've got some different garden and also some, obviously some, oh wow, some grape stems that are nice and dried, and some tomato stems. Nice red pink napkin. We'll use this for the top. I like this for the top. Some more aloe vera. Okay, we threw a few more big pieces of cardboard, and now we have some, this is heavy shredded paper. It's not, it's the thick paper. So we've got some heavy shredded paper. We've got some cardboard shreds. And we have some light shredded paper. So we're going to mix this all together. Keep this nice and wet as we go so it can continue to absorb and transfer moisture from the wet pieces to the dry pieces. This looks like a good habitat. If I were a worm, I'd want to live here. All kinds of interesting things. And more water. Let's add some grit now. A healthy amount of ground eggshells. But it's pretty. The important things, you know. These are so much easier to tear when they're damp or even wet. So get some more water. I think we can have these. They sure smell good. Basil and garlic. If I'm happy, my wormies are happy. That's how that goes. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and add the first feeding now, because this is actually a bait-in bin. It's the hype. So the bait-in bin of adults has too many worms in it. They are self-regulating, which, you know, we know they do. And I don't want that. I want them to grow and make more babies and be as prolific as they can. So I'm making another bin so they can grow out and grow big. So I don't want to stunt their growth. I'm not at that point. I'm still, remember the moderation thing, there isn't any here, so I'm not done. I don't know if I'll ever be done growing them and have a plethora. Plethora is perfect for me. So I'm gonna go get the feeding theme. We've got all kinds of fun stuff, garlic and ginger and all kinds of fragrant foods in here. It smells a little spicy. It smells incredibly good. Yeah, this was food that I did eat, but this smells good enough to eat again, although I know that there's mold and disgustingness in here. So wormies are gonna love it, and I enjoy the smell. So even as this stuff breaks down, it still smells good to me. So they'll eat this up faster than it can turn into a putrid, rotting mess. So let's see all these greens and reds and browns and, yep. The artist in the wormery, the artist and the worm. I could keep going, but then I'd have to do another Mrs. Rogers moment. But we want this to be nice and juicy because chili top, because we want the worms to choose this. So I haven't fed the other bin and I haven't watered it, so I want this bin to be more choosable than the bin they're currently in. So we're gonna put in some inoculated material. So we have some screened material, some other bins, which is why we keep seeing the red highlights. They never go away because I keep transferring them. Yeah, why not? We'll do it. We're doing this. I know this sounds very strange, but this smells so good. It's very pleasing smell and look. Yeah, it's already breaking down the gelatin. What are we gonna add? Of course, water. I'm a burn hazard. This has a very cool texture already. Very different. Done. So we definitely want this very moist. I mean, almost wet. But remember, this is not done wicking up. All right, let's add a little more grit for fun. A little more eggshell and buffer. And here we have the start of our new bin, which will be called the daughter bin, because all of the guys coming over will be successive. And we don't want to waste what's left in here. So I think this bin is ready for the incoming worms. So we're gonna continue with the baiting in method. And we could do this for a small harvest or for starting a new bin. This one's a daughter bin because we're not gonna be moving the whole bin over. We're not splitting it. A little bit more food. Let's see what that does for moisture. We're feeding the microbes as well as gonna be feeding the worms. But this is gonna help give the microbes a jump start. They're still active. We've got all kinds of stuff in here. Very diverse. This definitely has to be more wet than the material that they're in so that they'll want to come right over. See, that made such a difference. It's going to be a little drier because these pieces will still wick up some of the moisture and draw it from these pieces that seem nice and perfectly wet. So the squeeze test. A couple drops if I squeeze really hard. So those couple drops will disappear in just a couple of minutes. It's already wicking up. Get some of these microbes all throughout. Gelatin, little protein, totally different environment than the environment they're coming from. This one is very different. Can you tell? It needs more water. So if you do add too much water, then you just add some more cardboard. Oops. Oops! How many times do I say that? Oops. That's feeling much better. Alright.
Please subscribe and thumbs up and get updates.